We live in a world that's just obsessed with speed, right? We celebrate leaders who move fast, who get things done. But what's the hidden cost of all that velocity? Today, we're going to unpack that tension, the constant push and pull between the demand for efficiency and the deep need for sustainable ethical leadership. So, let's just jump right in with a question for you. Seriously, take a second and think about your own workplace, your team, maybe even your own style. Does your culture have a speed problem? Is moving fast always seen as the most important thing? Let's unpack this. We're going to call it the leadership speed problem. It's this idea, and it's everywhere in our work culture, that success is the same thing as speed. And this idea sets the stage for a very compelling, but ultimately very dangerous kind of leader.
I mean, this slide just nails it, doesn't it? We praise leaders who move fast and break things. We reward decisiveness. And look, efficiency on its own isn't a bad thing at all. But when it becomes the only thing we measure, without thinking about the consequences, well, that's where the trouble starts.
And, out of this cultural blind spot, we get this really powerful archetype, a metaphor that I think you'll recognize immediately, the seductive rocket leader. Think about a rocket. It's just pure power, right? All thrust, all forward momentum. It's incredibly impressive. But here's the thing about rockets. They're not really designed for navigating tricky human situations. They're built to burn fuel and go, with very little thought about the landing. And that, right there, is the critical flaw.
So what does this look like in the real world? How can you spot a rocket leader? Well, they're the ones who speed up decisions without actually getting any more input. They see any kind of pushback from their team not as useful information, but just a roadblock. They make the classic mistake of thinking that just because they're moving forward, they're actually making progress.
Okay, this table really gets to the heart of it. On the left, you've got the questions of efficiency. They're simple, they're clean, they look great on a dashboard. But then, on the right, you have the much harder, messier questions of ethics. Who is paying the hidden cost? That's the stuff that doesn't fit neatly into a spreadsheet. So in a culture that's addicted to speed, guess what gets ignored? Okay, so this is where we have to totally flip the script. The automatic reaction here is to think, oh great, ethics. This is gonna slow everything down to a crawl. But that's just a myth. And here's that myth, laid out plain and simple. We've been told that you have to choose between ethics and speed. But the reality is, ethics isn't the anchor holding you back, it's the rudder. It doesn't stop the ship, it makes sure you're actually pointing in the right direction and not about to smash into the rocks.
And listen, if there's one single idea you take away from all of this, let it be this one. Think about a Formula One race car. It has some of the most powerful brakes in the world. Why? Not to go slow. It's so the driver can handle those impossible corners at mind-blowing speeds. In leadership, your ethical framework, your values, those are your brakes. They're what make high-speed performance possible without a catastrophic crash.
Because when leaders drive without those brakes, they start racking up something called ethical debt. It's that invisible price tag on all those little shortcuts, all those moments where we just need to get it done. It's the cost of letting the ends justify the means over and over again. And this debt, it always gets collected. And this is what it looks like when the bill comes due. It's not some big dramatic explosion. It's a slow rot. It's your team becoming cynical. It's people just doing the bare minimum to not get in trouble instead of being truly committed. And your best people, they don't put up a fight. They just quietly update their resumes and disappear. All right, so if the rocket leader is the problem, what's the answer? Well, that brings us to a whole new model for leadership. It's time to meet the navigator. The navigator is what I'd call a leader of and. Just look at the pattern here. It's not about choosing one thing or the other. They move fast and they listen. They make the tough calls and they think about the impact. It's all about integration, not a trade-off. And what this really comes down to is a fundamental shift in mindset, in posture. The rocket leader is all about domination, forcing their will onto a system. But the navigator, their posture is one of stewardship. They see their job as taking care of the team, the mission, the values for the long haul, not just squeezing out short-term wins. Okay, this is all great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? How do you become a navigator? Well, this next part is the toolkit. These are 5 practical anchors for what we'll call ethical acceleration. These are those internal brakes we've been talking about, the things you can build into your own leadership. And notice, none of these are about being slow.
Let's just look at the first two. Delay before decisive moments. This isn't about dragging your feet. It's about taking one single breath to ask, is the pressure getting to me? Then invite dissent early. This is so important. It's the cheapest, fastest way to find the flaws in an idea before you're too far down the road. It's about leading smarter, not just faster. So, when you put all these pieces together, where does it leave us? It points us toward a way of leading that's more resilient, more human, and frankly, just more effective. It's about building leadership that actually lasts. Because here's the bottom line. The big challenge for us, for the future, isn't about finding new ways to go faster. We've got that part down. The real test, the real challenge, is figuring out how to maintain that speed without just incinerating our people, our culture, and our values in the process. And I want to leave you with this final thought, because it reframes the entire goal. It's not a solo race to the finish line. Real success isn't your personal velocity. It's about whether the people you're leading can actually keep up, not just with their tasks, but with their spirit intact. Can they move with you and still be themselves at the end of the day? Now that is the question for the navigator leader.